Hello, you're watching ERi-TV. Welcome to English News Broadcast. These are the major headlines. Eritrean senior delegation on working visit to India. 19 patients diagnosed positive for COVID-19 and tests carried out today. The global COVID-19 case and vaccination coverage continued to rise. And South Korea and the United States signed defense cost-sharing agreement. Local news. Senior Eritrean delegation comprising Mr. Osman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Presidential Advisor Mr. Yamana Garab are on a 4-day working visit to India, met and held talks with various Indian officials. The delegation today had separate meetings with India's Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. S. Sanjay Kar and National Security Advisor Shakir Ajit Doval for extensive discussion on multifaceted bilateral relations and regional and global issues of mutual interest. The two officials stressed that India was very keen to take its relationship with Eritrea forward and that there were many possibilities for strong partnership. The two sides agreed to boost economic and social cooperation as well as in key sectors of trade and investment. They also agreed to hold regular consultations and exchange of pertinent issues and developments. We have an announcement from the Minister of Health. 19 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 and tests carried out today at quarantine centers in the center, Northern Red Sea, Ansaba, and southern regions. Out of these, 13 patients are from the quarantine center in Asmara Central region. 3 patients are from quarantine centers in Nakfa, 2 in Galalo in the Northern Red Sea region. The other 2 patients are from quarantine center in Galeb, Ansaba region. The last patient is from the quarantine center in Mendefra, southern region. On the other hand, 8 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the Ansaba 7 and Central 1 regions have fully recovered and have been discharged from these facilities. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly risen to 3,146, while the number of deaths stands at 10. And the total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 3,393. Minister of Health, Asmara, April 8, 2021. Community-based environmental sanitation program with a view to control communicable diseases is being effectively conducted in the Gashbaka region. Mr. Abdul Yaqub, head of environmental sanitation in the region, said the residents of the administrative areas of Takraret, Ad Ibrahim, Hashakito, Ad Sheikh Alamin, Lokoch and Garagila, Digga subzone, as well as residents of the administrative areas of Haikota, Kotobia and Adi Ma'alel, Shambuko subzone have fully implemented the program and that they attest to the increased awareness of the public. The heads of health facilities in the subzone said the environmental sanitation activities beyond controlling the prevalence of communicable diseases will have significant contribution in easing the burden of health facilities. The administrators of the subzones of Digga and Shambuko, Mr. Hamed Illa and Mr. Kahsai Asrat, said the reinforced participation of the residents of the program has been successfully thanks to the sustainable awareness-raising activities conducted in the subzones. Now back with international news after a short break. Welcome back. The coronavirus-related deaths worldwide crossed 3 million today as the latest global resurgence of the COVID-19 infections is challenging vaccination efforts across the globe. This is according to World Meters. The United States today has surpassed 31.6 million confirmed cases of COVID-19. Brazil surpassed 13.1 million cases. And India has reported a record high of more than 126,000 new COVID-19 cases today, with much of the country struggling to contain a second surge in COVID-19 infections. India has recorded a total of more than 13 million cases of COVID-19, respectively. This according to the country's health ministry. Australia and the Philippines limited use of AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine today, while the African Union dropped plans to buy the shot, dealing further blows to the company's hopes to deliver a vaccine for the world. The vaccine, developed with Oxford University and considered a frontrunner in the global vaccine race, has been plagued by safety concerns and supply problems since phase 3 trial results were published in December, with Indonesia the latest country forced to 6 doses from other vaccine developers. South Korea and the United States signed their defense cost-sharing deal today in Seoul. The agreement sees South Korea to 13.9% increase in its contribution to the cost of hosting some 28,000 U.S. troops for 2021, the biggest annual rise in nearly 2 decades after U.S. calls for greater funding. South Korea's Vice Foreign Minister Choi In-kong and Rob Robson, charged the affairs of the U.S. Embassy to Seoul, attended a formal signing ceremony at the Foreign Ministry in Seoul and signed the deal called the Special Measures Agreement. American troops are deployed to South Korea in what is seen as deterrent to Pyongyang, that also sends a message to China about U.S. influence and capability in Asia. The United States is prepared to remove sanctions on Iran to resume compliance with the Iran nuclear deal, including those that are inconsistent with the 2015 pact, the U.S. State Department said today, without providing details. News of the decision to cave to the Iranians came yesterday from State Department spokesman Ned Price, who made the remarks while speaking to reporters following a mere 2 days of indirect talks on the 2015 agreement. Ned said the U.S. is prepared to take the steps necessary to return to compliance with the JCPOA, including by lifting sanctions that are inconsistent with the JCPOA. The Iranians expressed considerable satisfaction after that, and Iranian President Hassan Rouhani left yesterday's meetings calling initial discussions a success that opened a new chapter to save the pact. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.